Well, first and foremost, it's home. I mean, this
Mm.
is a franchise and the Indiana Fever, Indiana Pacers that's in my DNA. And secondly, this young, exciting roster. You think about a generational player in Caitlin Clark and back-to-back Rookie of the Years with Aaliyah Boston. Kelsey Mitchell, I think, had the best year of her career.
We're excited to talk to you about this because, as I just mentioned, you are no stranger to Indiana. What made you want to take this job?
Stephanie White just said something that has WNBA fans buzzing, and it's all about Caitlin Clark's future. Everyone's been talking about her possible 2025 return to college, but Stephanie flipped the whole conversation with one statement. Is she exposing the issue nobody else wants to admit, or is she just saying what every coach is secretly thinking? If you've been caught up in the debates about Clark's decision, this will make you look at things completely differently. Let's break down exactly what White said and why everyone's reacting right now. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Everyone keeps talking about Caitlin Clark and the big what if. What if she goes back to Iowa in 2025? What if she walks away from the WNBA to relive the college spotlight? Those conversations have been non-stop, but here's the thing, why has one coach's comments suddenly made people pause and rethink the whole storyline? That shift is where the hype surrounding her future collides with the reality of what she's actually doing right now.
We're excited to talk to you about this because, as I just mentioned, you are no stranger to Indiana. What made you want to take this job?
And secondly, this young, exciting roster. You think about a generational player in Caitlin Clark and back-to-back Rookie of the Years with Aaliyah Boston. Kelsey Mitchell, I think, had the best year of her career. Grew up in Indiana, played with the franchise, of course, a part of the franchise when we won the WNBA championship.
And it's a reality a lot of people seem to be ignoring. The chatter hasn't slowed down. Every game Caitlin plays feels like an open invitation for speculation. Fans dissect interviews line by line, media outlets run with headlines about possible eligibility, and analysts bring it up every time her name comes into conversation. It's almost like the league she's playing in now isn't even the focus. Everyone wants to know if she would take advantage of that fifth year in college, and you see those debates running wild. On sports talk shows, you'll catch entire segments dedicated to nothing but her hypothetical return. Scroll through social media, and there are polls where fans vote on what she should do, with heated comment sections making the case either way. Some people claim it would cement her status even more. Others say it risks slowing down her pro career. The tricky part is that all this speculation creates pressure before she even steps on the court. Imagine walking into a game knowing that every shot you take, every pass you throw, and every box score you fill is going to be tied back to a storyline about a decision you haven't even made. That's the weight Clark is carrying right now, and it's not just random noise, it affects how people see her. Instead of appreciating her performance with the Fever, the spotlight often shifts toward what comes next, instead of what just happened. When you think about it, that's an unfair position to put any rookie in.
Well, first and foremost, it's home. I mean, this is a franchise and the Indiana Fever, Indiana Pacers that's in my DNA. It's just an exciting roster. What an outstanding moment we have in women's basketball right now, and to come back and be a part of it.
Turn on ESPN or scroll TikTok for 5 minutes and you'll find highlight reels of Clark with captions asking if she should go back to college. Fans edit montages of her Iowa days and contrast them with her current WNBA clips, as if they're setting up a side-by-side debate about which version of Clark matters more. The buzz is addictive, but it pulls attention away from the games she's playing right now. It's almost like two storylines competing against each other, the fantasy of her return versus the reality of her growth as a professional player. Enter Stephanie White. Out of all the voices in this conversation, she's the one who has managed to cut through the noise. When she weighed in, it wasn't with the same recycled takes about whether Clark should or shouldn't return to college. She went after the obsession surrounding it instead. That's why her comment stood out. She wasn't feeding the fire, she was calling attention to how everyone else was fueling it. And that shift is powerful because it's exactly the perspective most people weren't even thinking about. This isn't just about Clark, it's about how speculation impacts athletes across sports. Researchers have pointed out that the constant back and forth about what comes next can actually shape how athletes are judged in the moment. If fans or the media believe a player hasn't arrived yet because there's always another big leap supposedly waiting, then even their best performances can get underrated. In Clark's case, instead of recognizing her as a rookie innovating on the floor, the narrative keeps delaying recognition by saying the real headline is still in the future. But here's the irony in all of this: while everyone is caught up in future talk, Clark is rewriting the record books right now. She's already setting marks for rookies, stacking double-digit performances, and proving she can hang with seasoned veterans. That's not theoretical. That's not some hypothetical return. That's happening in front of us every time she takes the court. And that's why White's words hit such a nerve. She's not dismissing the fandom or the speculation, but she's reminding everyone where the actual story is unfolding, in practices, in games, and in the grind of the WNBA season. So is White saying what nobody else wanted to admit? That maybe the energy spent on asking about a return to Iowa should be redirected to what Clark is already accomplishing? That maybe the spotlight belongs to her professional journey instead of a future that may never happen? Those are the questions that her comment forces people to confront. And when you really look at it, White's main message isn't about shutting anyone down. It's about perspective. She reframed the conversation around success, asking people to consider that greatness isn't just built on highlight reels of the past but on the growth happening in real time. In other words, Clark's career doesn't need to be validated by another run at the college game. It's being validated by her progress in the league where the best of the best compete. That's where the story turns. Instead of waiting for a maybe that might never arrive, attention shifts to a journey that's already started. And if you think about it, that journey might be the exact stage where Caitlin Clark leaves her biggest mark. The truth is, the 2025 talk isn't the headline at all. The real story is what Caitlin Clark is building in the WNBA right now, and Stephanie White just reminded everyone to stop chasing hypotheticals. Clark is already shaping her legacy where the best compete, not in a fantasy scenario that may never even happen. So here's the question for you: does it make more sense to focus on the growth we're watching instead of the what if that may never come? Drop your thoughts below. Do you think Stephanie White is right about shifting the spotlight?